everybody, welcome to another Star Trek Models and Props program here on the Star Trek Models and Props YouTube channel and or Facebook page and or Instagram and or instant tweeting. Today we're going to start a very exciting project. I'm very excited about it. It's probably not the most epic thing that could ever be built, nor is it the biggest thing I've ever built, but it's probably the most epic, intricate thing that I've ever done. And today we're going to commence construction on a lighted, photo-etched, strobed, all the works, 1/1400 scale Enterprise D kit, as you may have surmised from the items that we have here in this little collage of Star Trek The Next Generation that I just vomited all over the place. So, the Enterprise D, Galaxy Class, classic ship. Where do you go from the original series Enterprise, then the motion picture refit? Got to go 80 years later, it's 1980s, you know, that Andy Probert, he knows how to make a ship. And here we are with from one of the most, or, you know, the most iconic science fiction television series, or one of the most. And to go with it, probably one of the most successful model kits ever made. Maybe not top 5, maybe not top 10, but certainly in the top 20s, 530s, something like that. Seeing as how it's been around since 1987, and they keep re-releasing it. Hey, you stay right there, Cobra Phaser. That's here for really no reason other than you stay right there. Anyway, we're going to take a look at that, plus some of the fantastic add-ons that we're going to be putting on this kit from Green Strawberry, antenna controls, and some other stuff. So, as you can see, Star Trek The Next Generation ad nauseum. This kit started in 1987. I wish I had the original box, but I don't have that one. That one, I did have one, but it ended up becoming this, which is the USS Melbourne, or close to it. One of the Nebula prototypes from Best of Both Worlds, which is another great thing about this kit. They used it so much for kit bashing and stuff like that. You can have a bunch of them and still not make the same ship. And the fact that they used it on the show multiple times, like exploding with the nacelles, as a trashed version of this, and then Cisco's desk model, and then even in Deep Space Nine, we actually have the kit as itself in this screenshot with the obscure, quote, dark neck galaxies. You can see the weird dark neck thing going on. So I want to build one of those one day. Speaking of which is probably going to be this one. As you can see, a nice-ish build so far. This was the Generations kit, which I don't have the box anymore. Got rid of that, but same thing. It's just the same ship. I think when they did the fiber optic version, which we got down there, they added some stuff on the inside. And then later on, for the most recent release, they added the standard round 2 type base, which I just have shoved up in this one. But other than that, the kit has changed very little as far as I'm aware, but we'll take a look at it. Anyway, with this one, I'm trying to do a post or Dominion War era, so we're going to do that dark neck thing going on. And then just for the hell of it, because I also probably want to use the bottom of the Captain's Yacht for one of the kit bashes. I think I've already used it on something, so I decided to do the bottom, so we'll do something neat with that. So we'll say it's an upgrade. I'm also going to put the Nebula class deflector dish in here, and we'll have, of course, the yellow arrowheads and stuff like that. So that'll be fun like that. But like I said, classic kit. All right, so here we have a stack of kits of the various releases of the exact same model kit, pretty much. Interesting thing to note, actually it's not really that interesting. I guess I find it interesting, but who gives a crap? The picture they have on here is the 4-foot model, and the original kit, the AMT, or the kit itself, is based on the 6-foot model, which they got very nicely accurate as far as I'm concerned, minus some things. And the nice thing is, if you go on Memory Alpha, or I'm sure it's on other websites, they actually have the paint formulas for at least the first pilot version, or not first pilot, but the Encounter at Farpoint. When they originally made the 6-foot model, and probably the 2-foot model too, all the paint codes for the green and blue, and all the sensors and phaser strips and things like that. So that's pretty helpful. I love that. And then I assume the 4-foot model is painted in different colors because it seems more gray than the blue-green that you see on the regular next-gen version. And then for Generations, which is probably what this version is going to be that we're going to build, they painted it again, and now it's a series of blues and grays. And it's like 3 or 4 tones as opposed to the 2-tone at the beginning of next gen when it originally came out. So, you know, like I said, here's one release of the kit that includes probably dried up paint and glue at this point. It's still in its shrink wrap, but it's pretty much the same thing. And imagine, here's the fiber optic release. That one I couldn't help but open. Hey, see, they even screwed it up too. Although I did it on purpose on the other one. I actually did it on purpose. I'm not being like doing a thing, like making a lame excuse. It was actually purposeful, just to make it different. But I don't want to put the things on like the Venture, because they look backwards and look strange. It's a whole thing. Anyway, yeah, there you go. Same color. That was another great thing about the original release of the kit, and some of the, I think all of the opaque ones were all cast in this blue color, which is pretty spot on to the actual paint color of the studio model. So that's pretty awesome. Good for paint matching, and for you know, or if you just want to, you know, build it up as is and just paint in the green, or, you know, do whatever you want with it. Of course, this has the wacky stands where you can have the saucer separated, and this ugly weird thing, and the stupid clips that clip into the bottom here. You have to cut that section out. You have to cut that out, and then they like snap in. It's weird. All right, let's get that out of the way. First, you got your saucer. And then for this release, I guess it's helpful. To me, I don't like this. I'd rather the light be the color rather than the parts, if you know what I mean. I like the parts to look like the studio model parts, but they're tinted in this version, so you got the blue and red. So it's okay. It's kind of nice. And then there's some other extra parts that they included, and then there's all this stuff for doing the lighting. The problem with lighting a ship like this is, you'll notice, and I'm sure you're all aware, take a look, you see all these windows are nice long rectangles. Isn't that just fun? Don't you want to drill out 3 or 4 holes per window, then have to, you know, mate them all together so it's one long window instead of 3? So isn't that just fun? That's the beauty of these clear kits. Here, you get, go away, get out opaque kit. Thank you, clear kit, which got 2. This was the first re-release from round 2, and it's pretty much exactly as the original kit, because it even has the corny bases somewhere. I think it does. Yeah, there they are. As the corny bases, but they're cast in clear, so I really imagine the whole clippy things cast in clear. That's a boatload of fun right there. But other than that, it's the same. But the cool thing about this kit, the first release, is it actually came with full Aztec decals. So you can get a look at that. And they're in the Generation style of the multicolors, stuff like that. Because I guess also these would be green if it was in the regular TV series version. So, but you got all the markings and stuff like that. But an interesting thing is, for this current release, they actually have updated the decals. Of course, on the other hand, what they've done is, why sell you one product for $50 when we could sell you two products for like $80. You can buy a $40 model kit and then buy $30 Aztec decals. So, or 40, are they? They're like 30 or maybe it says on the box. Let's check it out. Say on the packaging. No, I guess I bought it online. Anyway, they're printed by Cartograph, which is nice. So the Decal Pros from Italy. Let's see if I can get this open without completely trashing it. But you can already see the layout, I believe, is a little bit different. They've moved around slightly. And granted, of course, this one's on blue backing paper and this one's on white, but if we get up in there, hopefully, I know there's somewhere where there's some differences. Oh yeah, no, that's the same. Then what was I looking at? On the first round 2 release, it's got the little whatever, this part decaled in like the like in Generations, but in here they don't have it. But let's see if we can get them side by side. Kind of see the difference, but it's definitely a different color, so that's kind of something to note. In any case, it's a little bit different, and we'll see how it goes on. I'm going to use these ones for this kit that they were going to build up. I guess the other difference is this one has all the marking decals on it because it came with the kit, but the kit has its own set of decals that are just all the markings, and I don't know, you can kind of see. I don't want to open them yet, but you can see all those escape pods, 1701D, all that stuff. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it with that guy. It also comes, like I said, they redesigned it to fit the large round 2 base, and here, of course, is the kit. Let's get all these freaking decals out of the way. Just finished washing it, so that's why it's in this box. But you'll see there's the new stand hole right there, and there's that old one, cast and clear. So this should be good for lighting. And I saw somebody do, which was pretty cool, and I didn't even think about this, because what you're going to end up doing is painting the ship and then scratching out all the windows. But when you scratch them out, you know, kind of risk damaging other things. So what I saw somebody do was mask off the inside, but he did it with like just strips of tape, but you could still light block the inside, you know, black and white and all that stuff. So I thought that was kind of cool, so I'm going to try that on this one. And then once that's done, I'll probably frost all the inside to make sure it just stays, you know, you're not looking. I mean, it's pretty frosty as it is, but as you can see, you can't see anything behind too well, but you just don't want to see those hot spot LEDs. So there's that kit. Who cares? I'm going to put a time thing in because I've babbled on enough, but you can hopefully have skipped to right now if you want to see the cool stuff that hasn't been in everything. Let's get all this crap out of the way. First, let's check out this. This is great. This is a product from Green Strawberry. These are 1/1400 scale runabouts, which is pretty cool. And I'll take them out of the box, but I'll probably just insert pictures because that'll be much less nauseating than me holding them up to the camera. But basically, you've got a set of instructions, a set of decals, and then 4 runabouts attached to resin runabouts attached to a sprue, and then a set of decals, which is very nice. They even have all they got windows and parts of they got the flux chillers, various other little detailings and stuff like that, different names at a microscopic level. So, I mean, that's pretty freaking cool. And then some instructions that are pretty detailed, how to cut them off the base, paint guide, decal guide, all that stuff, name guide. I guess they're all Deep Space Nine runabouts, but I mean, at that scale, can you even read that? Well, that's when the Enterprise D was dropping them off. We'll go with that. Next product from Green Strawberry is pretty epic. I gotta say, this is a full Photo-etch set, and I mean full. Like, they put stuff on here I didn't even know needed extra detail at all. It comes in this handy little pouch thing. Let's open that up. And we've got 2 sheets of Photo-etch and a nice big instruction pack. The first thing in the instructions, we've got working on the deflector dish, which is really nice. And then the little back parts, like on the Generations version, impulse grills. As far as I know, I think Dawn's Light and Magic makes a Photo-etch set for this, but it's only the phaser strips and the trenches, which we'll show off here in a second. But look at all this stuff. Like, did you know those needed Photo-etch? Whatever those things are? And yeah, this phasers, that thing, those 2 things. Did you know those needed Photo-etch? I didn't, but I'm going to put them on there. The doors, the phaser strips, the main shuttle bay door, the docking bay for the captain's yacht is a special, its own part, and they included this area, which was not on the kit and still isn't. But you do have to cut that out, and then you just fold that new piece in and slap it right in there. Now, this is one part where I wish Tetrion models still existed. I never bought any of this stuff, and I should have, because it's got some great 1/1000 scale stuff. That bridge and impulse deck, and I think his torpedo launcher was the other one. Oh, those are so great. So I wish they'd come back. But he did make a completely new back spine section for the Enterprise D Galaxy Class, and it's like they got the impulse engine shape right. Here it's like some weird square thing, which looks ironically more like the 4-footer, even though that was like 4 years away. And I'm sure it's just because of the molding process, they couldn't get the concave, whatever, angle curves on it, so it just ended up being a square. But, you know, that is that. Although, the nice thing is they included, the impulse engine is the correct shape, but you still have to deal with the squareness. But I'm wondering if, hopefully, maybe some corner rounding and maybe some reshaping will get that in there. Of course, it's going to be harder with the clear plastic since it's much more brittle. Docking airlocks, something, whatever these are, that are on the warp engines, 4 pieces per each one, and there's 2 on each nacelle, so that's going to be a whole thing. And then, as if the docking bay weren't enough, it actually has little landing grappler, hangar bay, come on, camera, there you go, camera, or hammer, whatever, landing bay extension, what's the word, docking port stuff, grappler, claw, thing, grapple, for the captain's yacht that even goes in there, and then some squares. I don't know if those are escape pods or just details. But anyway, it has that. It's ridiculous. It's fantastic. More phaser strips. Phaser strips, there's your trenches, so that's going to be fantastic. So you don't, because you got to get to the power to the engines somehow, so you basically just drill all that out, or you drill a little channel, and then you lay your wires in there, and then you can just put that piece over, and boom, you're done. Phaser strip for the battle bridge area, which on this model we're not going to do saucer separation, just because that's too much to have lighting in that. I know people have done it. I think it's beyond my skill set at this point. Torpedo bay area and docking ports, as if you didn't know that needed Photo-etch, but it does. This is pretty cool. Parts for the inside of the warp engines that also serve as light blocking, so you can put your red LEDs up in here, and then it's nice and light blocked from the rest of it. The only thing is you have to drill these out, but that's not too hard. It is brass. You just have to be careful, make sure it doesn't bind up. But that's pretty cool. I think it includes 4 of those, so you can do have them completely separated by 2. So that's pretty awesome. And we've got the full saucer ring phaser strips, and last but not least, the whatever that is, arboretum windows, something, those big weird windows on the back right behind the shuttle bay. So that's that. We'll get some close-ups here of the Photo-etch pieces themselves. It's just, the detail is just freaking ridiculous. Like, look at that deflector dish. That's beautiful. This beautiful piece of work right there, where the impulse engines, like they even got like the weird like pattern that's in it. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And all of that, and it fits onto 2 pieces. It's amazing. The technology and things that people can do these days is just amazing. I kind of like these just as is. Like, just put these on as brass. I mean, I know it's supposed to be sack bomber tan, but I think the brass, or this tarnished brass, looks kind of cool. And I don't think they have it on this one, but I've seen them do both. They've been able to photo etch both sides, because they did that on my on the the Viper, Battlestar Viper Mark II, do both sides of it, and it's like, oh, so cool, so cool. So yeah, that is the Green Strawberry Photo-etch set. What else we got? We gotta have lights in this fancy ship. We're not doing lighted phasers or torpedoes, unfortunately, but we are gonna do... I guess I'm saying we because I'm building it for someone. Let's just go with that. This one isn't for me, but I'm sure by the time I wish it would have been. Tana Controls. Love Tana Controls. I pretty much get all my boards from them. I haven't done a lot of lighting in a while, but this is a very teeny tiny, itsy bitsy little tiny board that can do, or will do the, come on, there you go, do all the strobe and nav lights and stuff like that. So that's pretty exciting. One thing I'll note, I think in the instructions, it doesn't place all of them that I can see on the show. Yeah. Because we've got those ones. I'm trying to think. I have to look it up again, but I know there's some missing. Like, there should be one right here. There's another one. I don't know. There's a couple more on here, but I don't think it'll be too bad to be able to add those, just to make them all screen accurate and stuff like that. So that's pretty much that. It comes with the LEDs and resistors and tape and even a 9-volt connector. We'll do this one with the wall plug-in. And of course, all the other lighting. Got a nice strip of LED tape and all this other wonderful stuff that I got from HDA Model Works, and these are pre-wired, real little tiny, itsy bitsy, teeny weeny freaking LEDs with resistors on it. It's just, it's so nice not having to do that. Let's see if I can get this bundle out and not destroy it, but look at that, that's so cool. Of course, to you lighting guys, I'm sure this is all, you've probably stopped watching at this point, but people that don't do lighting that much, you're probably as impressed as I am. Like, they come with the resistors already on there, and look at there's 5 of them right there, and they're so tiny. Oh! Ah! It's great. And these are warm white, by the way. So I have to go back and remember what goes to what, but we've got warm white, or a couple different whites for the strobes, because it had white strobes, and the red and the greens seem like they're on all the time, like they don't blink, as you can kind of see here, although those aren't even red or green, are they? That's just white. So I think the top ones have green ones. I don't remember. I'll have to look. But most of them are white. Oh, there's 2 red and green ones on the very back that stick out of the back, which will be fun to drill that out. But I know that's a strobe light, and then there's the ones on the back but whatever. Anyway, we've got green, blue for deflector dish. We've got red ones for the engines and stuff like that. So I think that'll be fun. But yeah, I don't think this video went exactly the way I was hoping to, but I think you kind of get the idea of what's going on with this project and just the love of the Enterprise D. It is a wonderful ship, and I look forward to working on it. So without further ado, hopefully there'll be updates, but if there's not an update video, there will definitely be update pictures, which you can check out on the Facebook page, and we're Instagram and Twitter and all that good stuff. It'll probably be a midway update and then probably a final update at the least, but or video and stuff like that. But you'll be able to see. Hopefully it's progress, and hopefully it go well and not be a horrible disaster. But it should be fun. So the first step, I guess, will be to start masking, do the inside of the windows like I described, and then we'll light block it, and then also start doing the drill out the trench right here and do that, and then I do the very carefully, delicately drill out the back for some fiber optics for the red and green LEDs that are on the back here. The beauty of it is I think I'll be able to paint and maybe even decal most of the model in pieces and then be able to assemble it and, you know, do all the lighting, because I think that'll just make it a lot easier, and do all the billion hours of scratching out each individual window as a separate piece, whereas trying to hold the whole ship and do that at the same time sounds like a nightmare, to say the least. But yeah, so that's what we got here. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Got some UGG model stuff coming up next.